Hello there, you are welcome. This is the Edexcel Foundation Paper 2 calculator paper from November 2023. So let's get right on it. So let's begin with question number 1. It says write down 2 factors of 18. Now when they say factors, they're talking about the numbers that can go into 18 without a remainder. So what are those numbers? We have 1, 2, 3, and so on up to 18. But since we're asked to just find 2 factors of 18, we should just pick 2 from here, okay? So 1, 2, let me just list everything. After 3, you have 6, then you have 9, you have 18. So if you are picking 2 factors from here, we can just pick 3 and 9. So these are the 2 factors of 18. Let's go to number 2. For question number 2, it says write 0.9 as a fraction. How would you do this? Now look at this 0.9. This 9 here is the 10th column. The 10th column, okay? Now if you have to write this as a fraction, it's going to be 9 over 10. That is how you convert from a decimal to a fraction. If you divide 9 by 10, you're going to have 0.9. Okay, so the next one says change 7 meters to centimeters. Now 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. Now since we are changing from 7 meters to centimeters, I am going to multiply 7 by 100 centimeters, and that will give us 700 centimeters. So this is 700 centimeters. Question number 4 says write down a square number that is between 10 and 50. Now when we talk about square numbers are numbers whose square root will give you a whole number. For example, 1 is a square number because the square root of 1 is 1. The square root of 4 is 2. So the way to get square numbers, multiply a whole number by itself. The result you have becomes a square number. For example, 1 times 1 is 1. So 1 is a square number. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 is a square number. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 is a square number. This is how you get square numbers. So if we're asked to write the square number that is between 10 and 50, okay, I think we should just go on with this one. 3 times 3 is 9, but 9 is not between 10 and 50. So when you do 4 times 4, you get 16. I think it would be easy for us to just list it here out. So 4 times 4 is 16. 16 is a square number and it's between 10 and 50. So I think we're good with this 16 because 16 is between 10 and 50. And they say we should write down a square number, just a square number. All right, so we can just pick 16 as a square number. I'll just write it here. So 16, very good. Let's go to question number 5. Work at 50% of 240. 50% is 50 over 100 when you convert from percentage to a fraction. So 50% is 50 over 100 of is times, then 240. So when you simplify this, 0 cancels 0. Now this is a calculator paper. Okay, we don't have to do this. We can just use a calculator and do 5 times 24. 5 times 24 is 120. So the answer here is 120. Now you can do this fully with a calculator and let's do this. We can do 50 divided by, that's 50 over 100, and then times 240 with a calculator, since it's a calculator paper. So we have 120 as the answer. Okay, that's it. You can do this fully on a calculator. Let's go to number 6. Number 6 says Lydia works for 4 hours. She is paid 50 pounds. How much is Lydia paid per hour? So if Lydia works for 4 hours and she's paid 50 pounds, so for 4 hours she is paid 50 pounds. How much is she paid per hour? So for 1 hour it's going to be 50 pounds divided by 4. So what would this give us? Let's bring out our calculator and do 50 divided by 4. If you convert that to a decimal, you have 12.5. So she's paid 12.5 pounds per hour. Yeah, that's how that works. Number 7 says, here is a 3D shape. Look at this. Write down the name of this 3D shape. Now, clearly, this is a cone. The second part of this says, in the space below, draw a sketch of a triangular prism. Now, what is a prism, by the way? A prism is a shape that has the same cross section. A prism is a shape that has the same cross section. So let me draw a triangular prism. I'm going to draw a triangle here. This might not be the best of drawing, but it's cool. So if I draw a triangle like this, and I'm going to draw a triangular prism, let's go like this. Okay, I think this can be better. Like this. Okay. And then like this again. And I just join it like so. And then you go like this. And then like this. Okay, that can be better. And then like this. Then we'll join it here. Okay, this is a triangular prism. Notice I said a prism is a shape that has the same cross section. So even when you cut it from this side, if you decide to cut it from this side, you're still going to have a triangle here, as you can see. Yeah, you're still going to have a triangle if you decide to cut it through that point. Yeah, let's go to number 8. Number 8 says Curtis needs to buy some items for his sports club. Here are the prices. Item and price. Footballs, £9.50 each. Hockey sticks, £30 for 2. Cricket bat, £23 each. Tennis balls, £5 for 4. Curtis needs to buy 5 football. But we're told that one football costs £9.50. Now, if you have to buy 5 footballs, you have to multiply this by 5. And when you multiply that by 5, let's get a calculator and do 2 times 23 is 46. So that's £46. And the last one is tennis balls, £5 for 4. But we need 4 tennis balls. So we don't have to buy extra of this. £5 for 4 already. So this is going to be £5. Now, if you have to find the total, what is that going to be? Let's get our calculator and add these up. So what do we have first? Let me shift this here. So we have 47.5 plus 90 plus 46 plus 5. When you add all these, you're going to have 377 over 2. Convert that to a decimal, you'll have 188.5. So you have £188.50. And here it says Curtis has £200 to spend. Show that Curtis can buy all the items he needs. Of course he can, because Curtis has £200 to spend, and everything he needs to buy is £188.50. So he can buy these items because he has more than the required amount needed to buy all the items. So question 9. Harris is buying a shirt and a tie. He has a choice of 3 colors of shirt and a choice of 3 styles of tie. Okay. From this table, we can see white, blue, gray, plain, striped, and checked. Harris is going to choose 1 shirt and 1 tie. List all the possible combinations Harris can choose. So Harris can choose white and plain. He can choose white and striped. He can choose white and checked. So that's how we're going to do all the combinations. So let's start off by writing it like this. White and plain. That's the first one. White and plain. This, you can choose white and striped. So white and striped. You can choose white and checked. All right, white and checked. Okay. Now we're going to go the same way with blue, blue and plain, blue and striped, and blue and checked. So blue, plain, blue striped, and blue checked. And the last one, gray, plain, gray and striped, and then gray and checked. So we have gray, plain, gray striped, and gray checked. So these are the possible combinations that Harry can have. Okay, question number 10 says, there are 24 red counters and 40 blue counters in a bag. Write down the ratio of the number of red counters to the number of blue counters in the bag. Give the ratio in its simplest form. So we need to write the ratio of red counters to blue counters. Red to blue. How many red counters do we have? We have 24 red counters. So this is going to be 24. And how many blue counters do we have? We have 40 blue counters. So this is going to be 40. If we have to give the ratio in the simplest form, we have to break it down. What do? I can use a calculator. Now, do you know that 24 ratio 50 can be expressed as 24 over 50? You can express it as a fraction. So I'm going to do 24 divided by 40. What do you have? You have 3 over 5. So this is equals to 3 over 5, which can be expressed as 3 ratio 5. That's it. Okay, let's go to question number 11. Number 11 says, Rima is going to roll a fair 6-sided dice. Choose the word that best describes the probability that the dice will land on the number 3. We have impossible, we have unlikely, we have evens, we have likely, we have certain. Now for certain, the probability is 1. For impossible, the probability is 0. It can never happen. For even, it is that you have a half chance for even, which is 1 over 2. Unlikely has to be less than 1 over 2, but more than 0. Likely has to be more than 1 over 2, but less than 1. So to get the probability that it will land on number 3, because you have 6 faces, one face has 1, another one has 2, 3, up to 6, like that. So it's going to be the probability of the required outcome, because you have 3 occupying a face of the dice, is going to be 1, then over how many faces do you have in a dice? You have 6. So 1 over 6. Now, where does it fall? Does it fall here or here? Of course, not likely, but unlikely, because it is less than 1 over 2. So that's unlikely. So the answer here is going to be what? Unlikely. Let me just take this off. The second part says, choose the word that best describes the probability that the dice will land on an odd number. So for an odd number, how many odd numbers do you have? Let me list all the numbers you have on the dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I should have done that in the first part, but it's still okay. Now, what are the odd numbers? 3 is an odd number, 1 is an odd number, and then 5. So the probability of you getting an odd number is going to be what? The number of required outcome. We have 1, 2, 3, that's 3, then over the number of faces you have in a dice, that's 6. So when you split this, 3 here is 1, 3 here is 2. What is that? Evens, 1 over 2. So that's here I'm going to write even. Okay, let's go to number 12. Number 12 says, a car travels at an average speed of 37 miles per hour for 3 hours. Work out the distance that the car travels in the 3 hours. Here we're told that the car traveled 37 miles per hour. So for 1 hour, the car traveled 37 miles. And for 3 hours, it's going to be, for 3 hours, it's going to be 3 times 37 miles. So what's 3 times 37? Let's do that here. 3 times 37. We're using a calculator. This is what? 111. So 111 miles. So here I'm just going to write 111. And there you go. Okay, I'll see you in the next part. And from there, we'll continue from question number 13. Like and share this video. And do subscribe to this channel for more content like this. I'll see you in the next one.